Amazing day, beautiful people from anywhere that you're watching us right now. Welcome to Trends. My name is PJ, and I have with me Nakali Esko Nakali.
Welcome,
Nakali, how
ladies
you
and gentlemen.
doing?
I'm good, and I'm excited to be in the studio for another Trend special, and
Yeah.
it's always amazing.
It's always interesting.
Yes.
And like we always do, we have topics that we zoom in on and bring in really colorful perspectives too. And we
Yeah.
have a very colorful topic today.
Indeed.
A really colorful topic today, and I'm sure you might have seen the the title attached to this live session,
Broadcast.
this live broadcast. It's on cohabitation,
Hmm.
and once again we have different takes, and we're taking this from a tweet that is really making the making the
causing a lot of
internet
buzz.
buzz right now. We're looking at that tweet and we're spotlighting, unpacking the comments, unpacking perspective, different thoughts, and we're going to now wrap it up with our own perspective, of course, giving you that undiluted, unfiltered kingdom perspective, the truth as it is. Now, Khaled, do you want to share with us what
Okay.
that tweet is on?
So even before I get into the tweets, for context, right? So someone asking cohabitation, maybe it's probably your first time.
For
Because
context.
so
In
for
case it's your
context,
first
yeah,
time
in
ever
case you're
hearing
just
that,
hearing,
You're
or
one
you
of the
don't-
few ones.
or you just thinking about it for the first time, in in-depth perspective. So to cohabit simply means to live. Let me put it in the most basic way. It is it's the situation where a man and a woman that are not married live together. You get it?
Yeah.
A man and a woman that are not married
Unmarried,
legally, by tradition, by the church, they shall not marry. There's no they are not married, but yet they live together, and they live together under the same roof and in the guise, and in many times they engage in activities that are
Only married people should engage in.
You get what I'm saying? Right? So yeah, that's the idea of cohabitation, right? So recently, or I think it was on the 2nd of February, which was
yesterday.
This tweet was made by Christian influencer Eric Gugwa. And by the way, we've had Eric on obviously
Yes,
one
we've
of
had
these
Eric
days.
on our
And
show.
yes, and it was an amazing time. And Eric shared something that, well, my first response to it was, this is normal. please. I mean,
Normal,
this
is just.
this is the norm.
It goes
This is
without saying.
it goes without saying, exactly. And then, but it became controversial because immediately the tweet blew up. As at the time I took the screenshot of it, the screenshot that has been displayed on the screen now, it had about 1.3 million impressions already. 1.3 people had viewed it, and there were a lot of reactions, responses, quotes. People were quoting the tweet to share their own perspectives. And funny enough, and to my amazement, or to our amazement, we, of course, I'm not unsure. I was not unsure that we were going to have divergent views, but I was totally taken aback by the amount of contrary opinions I saw. By that, what I'm trying to say,
the defense statements that many people.
Yeah. So let me start by saying this, PJ. It is clear that we have a morality epidemic in the world, and then also in our country, Nigeria. It looks like the standard of morality has dwindled to a great extent. Not just dwindled; it's on an all-time low.
Yeah,
it's terrible, because there is one thing for people to engage in immoral activities, immoral acts, and all that, but it's another thing to try to normalize it. When the anomaly is being normalized. So I was shocked. What shocked me the most was when I saw people shocked that people were shocked at the fact that cohabitation is wrong. People were shocked that you are shocked. Like, why are you shocked that this is wrong? And it just drew me aback, and I'm wondering, okay, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Because the last time I checked, this is a no-brainer. It's not something that you should think about. PJ, what do you think about that?
So I saw some of these tweets, and I felt like I need to shake this person and ask them, are you even real?
I mean,
and it really, again, just brings us to the fact that, see, our generation actually does need a lot of help.
Yes.
The level of decadence and how people have actually been able to create, like you said, normalize the things that should not even be normalized, and have strong, in fact, people who have biblical references for some of these things, their stance. I mean, wondering, this same Bible is where you're seeing this from.
Yeah.
How? It's so clear, but then it's not as simple as it used to be anymore. The simple things about, oh, okay, you should keep the bed undefiled. You should abstain from sex. You should, live a sexually pure life. All those things seems to be old school, out of vogue. You will even find it not. You'll find that some people are even shy.
Even within Christian centers, Christian circles, these are no longer popular conversations, because we, in the bid to be deep and sound a lot. We have moved away from these things in a bid to sound deeper and all. But there seems to be, and sorry to cut in, but it is imperative to note that whatever the society turns out to be, it's directly or indirectly a mirroring of what the church is.
Yes.
We cannot totally blame the church, because course, but truth, let's be honest, the church is usually a reflection, because the people that make up the church are people, regular, everyday human beings in the society, right? On the road, on the street, that engage in regular business like myself and you. So on this matter, PJ, before we even get into deep analysis of this, I like to reach out, say a big shout out to everyone who is online with us this afternoon, from wherever you're watching us across the world, of course, and whatever your time zone is. We say welcome. Thank you for joining in on today's conversation. We would like to hear from you what you think about the idea of cohabitation. Do you think it's a sin? Do you think it's a crime? Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it has done more harm than good? And let me read that tweet that Eric had made. This is what he said: cohabitation will never tell you how a person will behave in marriage. Never. Now, of course, there are two conversations to be brought out of this. First of all, the conversation of whether or not cohabitation is right or wrong. Then there is now the psychological dimension of cohabitation, because a lot of people have claimed that the reason why cohabitation is necessary, I've seen a lot of tweets, even sampling a lot of comments and quotes that people quoted that tweet. I saw a lot of people sampling an opinion that one of the reasons why cohabitation should be normal and should be good, or is a good idea, the idea of it is good, is because it helps you know the person that you intend to do life with. So it's sort of like
it's logical.
Yes,
but you
do a mock exam before you now do the real exam. So cohabitation is like the mock marriage.
Will not finish this generation, no.
And so I like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the issue of cohabitation? You can drop if you're watching on YouTube. You can drop a comment in the comment section. Big shout out to Favy Nation and Olua Yemisi. We see you guys. Yes. So we're waiting for your comments in the comment section. And if you're watching via the free to air, there's a number being displayed on the screen: 0707 008 0217. You can drop us a message on WhatsApp or via text, and we will definitely interact with your comments. So over to you, PJ.
Let me take some of these comments. Now, you know that in the comments, and you see it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the people that are thinking they are deep and they are wise.
Yeah.
Now, there's this particular comment I want to start with, okay? It seems like it makes sense. The auntie she has said something. Let me read what she said. So this is from Amaka. And she says, Eric mentioned that it can never show you how a person will behave in marriage. And Amaka says, never is a stretch. If cohabitation will never tell you, then there is no need for courtship or even asking about each other. Just jump into marriage. Whatever you see, you take. This is not to say that I'm in support of cohabitation. Flee from temptation always. Hey.
Okay, so let me comment on that real quick, right? So the idea that people make and say, let me read that comment again. Never is a stretch. If cohabitation will never tell you, then there is no need for courtship. Now, psychologically, right? Logically, let's even leave psychology. Logically, right? If you make cohabitation the standard to know, the standard for discovery and understanding the person you want to live with or do life with, it's a flawed ideology, and I'll explain why. Beyond every other thing, now let's just even look at the whole idea of just staying with someone. You would naturally think or feel that the fact that I stay with you, I'll get to know you. We saw a statistic today that stated that the highest time frame that people stay in in cohabitation, most times based on an average, and the the research that was done was about 22 months. That's roughly about 2 years, right, at most. So if you that's at most, right?
At most.
So if you're going to cohabit, let's say, if you're going to, you feel like cohabiting is what's going to make you understand the person you're going to stay with, it means that you are claiming that a person cannot hide their real nature for that long. Maybe you stay in the person's house for a month or 2 months or 3 months, and you believe that you would have seen it all. Let me say this. The idea of marriage, many a times, when people get married and they stay in the house, it's not like they don't get to see their bad sides. Everybody gets to see
everything
sides
unfolds
of themselves that they don't really like. But one of the major things that keeps people still staying in that, that whole setting is the fact that there is a commitment that comes with that discovery.
Yeah.
When you make a discovery that is not so pleasant, there are times when what you have to fall back to is not the goosebumps, it's not the butterflies in your belly, it's the commitment. I'm just speaking logically before we even get spiritual or religious now, right? Is that commitment that now keeps you and say, you know what, as a man of my word, I'm here, we're going to sort it out and all that. But you see, in the context of cohabitation, where it's not do or die, and even in marriage, it's not do or die, but you get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is that where you cannot just, in marriage, you can't just simply, there's a lot of things involved. You can't just simply storm out and say, I'm done because you saw something that you didn't. Whereas in cohabitation, many times people just, I've seen it all. I mean, if I have tasted of the precious and the what do they call it now? I've had the prize. I've tasted of the prize. I've tasted of the most prized possession already. Why would I want to hang around when I can move out and get others? Logically, it doesn't make any sense.
It even makes that detachment easier to go.
Yes.
You can go through a period of cohabiting with somebody for a year. I mean, a full-on year of living with somebody, giving them all the benefits of marriage.
Yeah.
And you can look back and say one small thing can come up, and you have no strong commitment,
nothing whatsoever,
keeping you and reminding you of why you should stick it out with this person.
Yes.
I'm going to want to read the statistics at this point, because I think it's actually, it's going to be a good time to bring it up. So it says that couples who live together are gambling and losing in the greater run, right? Many believe that the myth that they are in a trial marriage. Actually, it's more like a trial divorce.
It's just to see how long before the divorce happens.
Yes. So in which more than 8 out of 10 couples will break up either before the wedding or afterwards in divorce. First, about 45% of those who begin cohabiting do not marry. Those who undergo premarital divorce.
Now, this is a statistic that is proven.
It's proven, yes. We'll make reference to this, on the video, in the description. So those who undergo premarital divorce often discover it is as painful as the real thing. Because why not? You've given this person all the benefits. You've been cooking for this guy. He has been paying your bills. You've been, doing like you're married all along. So it's going to be just as painful. So those who undergo this, another 5 to 10% continue living together and do not marry. These two trends are the major reason the marriage rate has plunged 50% since 1970. Couples who cohabit are likely to find that it is a paltry substitute for the real thing, marriage.
True.
It is not the substitute.
It
can never be a rehearsal. Marriage needs no rehearsal.
Yes. And I'll just say this: we're trying to be as as general as possible, even before we niche down to the faith. Because if it's a matter of faith, then there's no questioning. It shouldn't even come up. There are things that the Bible says to flee from. Flee useful lust, flee adultery, fornication, and all of these vices, and all of these are things. Someone claimed. In fact, I saw some. I don't know if you have that tweet where someone was claiming that people don't have sex in when they cohabit. That what they do is that they know themselves. And I'm like, bro, what are you deceiving? Who are you deceiving? It's simple. The very fact that you are in a quote unquote a relationship with the person is that you're physically attracted to the person and you intend to get together. Now you're living with that person. You are not just living when you live with someone, you are at your most vulnerable state. There are moments where your guards are down. So there's no way, bro, don't be deceiving yourself, right? It's a no-no, it's a no-brainer, right? So I want us to spotlight another comment.
Another tweet or comment?
Yeah, no, one of those tweets, right, that was quoted. This one said, he said, anybody that tells you that cohabitation is the key to a successful marriage hasn't been married very long. Marriage is like eternal life. You think living with someone for 3 months will prepare you for the changes you will encounter in another 3 years. I mean, I couldn't agree any less anymore, right? Because the truth of it is that the context of marriage, if it's not marriage, nothing else can give you that context. That is why, and as much as we complain maybe in this part of the world, in Nigeria or in Africa, that it takes a lot to get married, it takes a lot literally to get married, right? You have to be prepared mentally, physically, financially, right? It takes a lot to really to get into the marriage proper in Nigeria or in this part of the world.
In the world.
Well, I can't speak for everywhere, but at least I know for Africa and Nigeria specifically.
It takes a lot. Yeah.
And the idea is, it proves your commitment. That does not mean, of course, people still get married and divorce. I'm just saying that process, you have to be serious to step into that, whether for wrong reasons but it takes a lot of intentionality to step into that, and then that now unlocks to you a whole lot of benefits that you should get in marriage. When we now substitute that system and make those things that should be exclusive to marriage now possible,
possible. You're opening up possibilities.
It now means that
exist.
First of all, it will look as though, we have saved ourselves from the stress that would have gone through, if we were going to plan a wedding or eventually get married, families getting to know. Now we can just do our thing and all of that without. But what you are doing, in essence, is that we are killing the sense of intentionality in our society.
Yeah.
So men are no longer intentional. In fact, a lot of women now say they don't want to get married. They want to be baby mamas. We're
having the baby mama
right?
epidemic.
A lot of men don't want to get married. Also, they just feel like they can get a woman and get her pregnant
and just have a child.
Do child support and we are good. And so the fabric of society is being affected, and this is where we now bring it down to our Christian faith. We now see that this is an agenda.
It is.
The devil is big on agendas, PG, right? He doesn't just come all at once. He doesn't just, whatever he wants to do, he breaks it into little bits and pieces, and then breaks those little bits and pieces
term.
Yes, into little time chunks. So if he has a 200-year plan, he breaks it into yearly plans. So you realize that different things are trending different years. Yes, and as those things trend, as people accept them, because this is how the devil infiltrates, right? He brings an idea, and people fight the idea. Later, people tolerate the idea. Later, the idea becomes the norm. Same thing with some homosexuality.
Yeah.
You say something, God forbid. You saw it in a movie, like, ew, you shouted. Now, you tolerate it. When you see it in the movie, you'll be like, these people are crazy. You just fast forward. You are no longer as angry. A time is coming where you to now become normal. When they say this person is gay or this person is a lesbian, it's a normal thing.
You adjusted to it.
Yes, the devil has found a way to make us tolerate that. The moment we tolerate it, it will now become norm. In fact, it will get to the point that if you are straight, if you are not gay or bisexual, you are strange. You will now be the eyesore. So in order to not be the eyesore, you join the bandwagon. That's how the devil infiltrates. Same thing with something like cohabitation. The aim, the point of contention is not just cohabitation in itself. Cohabitation is a means to an end. The end is family. The devil is after families. The devil is after families to break the fabric, because the family is the smallest cell of the society and the most important, because everybody gets the fulcrum of everybody's life starts from the family level. And PJ, we have some comments
already
coming on YouTube. I'll read one, maybe just read the second one. This is from Patient Iyako. He said, this is a timely topic because it's really something that has been normalized in the society. True. That is why we call Abuja marriage, and for the 25 years I have been in Abuja, almost all the people who cohabited before marriage are divorced. Can imagine, including me. Don't argue with me. I am speaking from experience. You have it here. Someone speaking from experience is sharing. Cohabitation should be discouraged as you can't maintain sexual purity cohabiting. It's a no-brainer. You can't. You are not iron. You are not wood. Even if you cohabit with someone that you are not physically attracted to in the moment, I'm telling you that you will still...
You'll fall into that temptation.
I'm telling you.
Like Apostle Femi Lazarus will always say, once you start touching, you stop talking.
Yes.
So the aim you think of, we will get to know each other better. The more you touch, you will definitely lose the element of wanting. There's no thing to discover or unravel.
Yes.
Anything that should be a mystery to you that you're excited about in marriage, you've already seen it all.
Yes.
You stop talking, you stop addressing the things that matter. It's just the benefits that you get from it.
It's simple. If I can cohabit with you, why would I marry you?
If I can get
if I can get it without going to the
I can explore 5 other more till I'm finally ready.
Do you get that? So instead of I don't want to have a divorce case. Not me now. Somebody doesn't want to have a divorce case, right?
Definitely not.
Right? Someone wants to get a divorce, doesn't want to have a divorce case. So the best tactics is sample.
Yeah.
Sample by cohabiting. Okay, you date this person, you cohabit, stay together for like 6 months.
Let's move in.
After a while, you break up, have a fight, you break up, you move on. Next person, 6 months. So within 5 years of this person's life, he has cohabited with that. He has tasted marriage and had all the benefit of marriage. It looks like, boy, you are wasting your life.
He has divorced 7 times.
You mean your life, and like you said, it is not preparation for marriage. It's not trial marriage. It's trial divorce in the real sense.
PJ, so we have Olayemi James, who says Olaleye James, who says you can hang out and go to events together. You can plan an outdoor meet where you get to know each other better, but cohabiting wouldn't solve the problem of secrecy.
True.
He goes ahead to say some habits are very annoying that people have indoors, and it is true that you might not find out if you don't pay them a visit at home. I don't think that a home visit is a bad idea, but stay guarded.
Yes. So within the context of when courting, right, there is a point in the courtship that it's okay to know the person. You have to. It's expected. You need to know where the person stays, although with accountability.
Yeah.
I believe that we're speaking to believers, right? So this is, if not anybody, because all these people now, they come our heads, right? But we'll say the truth regardless, right? There's a point you get to when you're with a person and you know that, oh, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Yes, you want to know where this person stays, but it should be with accountability, because I want to know where this person stays has led people to trouble, has caused many issues, unwanted pregnancy and the like, and abortions and all, which is not necessary, right? So you can, of course, you can pay the person a visit. It is safer to hang out in a neutral place. It is safer for your own, it's safer. But if you have proper accountability, for example, you want to go, you can go with someone, right? You can have, I think, so we might call them old school, but I remember a story of one of the fathers of faith was sharing how that when he was courting his wife, if they were going to see hangouts, right? There was a pastor, their pastor, they used to go see in their pastor's house. So the pastor was going to be there, him and her, they'll be talking. Okay, so maybe the pastor is sitting there.
No better?
And then he say, so how are you, man of God? I'm fine. You know that?
You call it old school, it's needed.
It was a structure. So
yeah.
Man, know thyself, to thy own self be true, right? Know what works for you, not what works for you. Literally, just be safe. Put in the structures, because you can think that something works for you, but you are overestimating yourself and by the time you find out, it might be too late. So it's better to stay safe. Cohabitation is never, and I say it on all authority, it's never the way. It's never an option. No, it's never an option.
You're shooting yourself in the leg.
And I think, sorry, PJ, I would say ladies need to take note of this more, because I feel like they are the ones on the receiving end when it comes to this, because the guy will just move on.
Yeah, you just really feel so used. And some people think that, oh, after I have done all of this for him, there's no how he won't marry me. My sister, he will not still marry you. He will not.
In fact, PJ, I love this comment from Harrison Amara. He says, it reads, cohabitation is sinful. No more, no less. I mean, it couldn't have been said any better. Thank you, Harrison. It is a sin. It is wrong. It is wrong. Someone might say, show me in the Bible where it said it's a sin. Okay, my brother, I don't know where it's written in the Bible that it's a sin. But if you have the Spirit of God on your inside, right? The Bible says you should flee youthful lust. You should flee fornication. Any situation that affords you the avenue to engage in all these things, avoid it. It is wrong. It is wrong for you to begin to experience the bliss of marriage. The Bible says
privileges that God has prepared for marriage.
How does Scripture put it? Marriage is honorable when the bed is undefiled. That's how it ought to be. Let's not allow society rewire our conscience of this thing. You know what is right, stick to it. A society, a generation is coming that is aberrating everything we have known as normal and is making the abnormal now the normal. and we must not just sit back and
we
fold
must
our
speak
hands.
against it.
We have to speak. We must lend your voice. You must lend your voice. PJ.
On that note, I would really love to, just share final thoughts, saying that at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you think long term.
Yeah.
Okay. Your life is not about you. Every action that you're doing today has consequences. And in case you're listening to this, and probably you've maybe found yourself in a situation where you've been cohabiting, or you're even currently cohabiting, understand that there is something better. That's not the best version of a relationship. And the best version is marriage. And anyone who cannot wait till you're married before you start living together, enjoying the benefits of marriage, is truly not worth it. That's the truth. And God has you in mind. He's intentional about you, wants the best for you. And you cohabiting is not the best of God for you. So you can make that decision today. Do it today. Do it today that, see, I want to stop this and I want to start, just doing things the God way, because God ordained marriage.
True that, PJ. And on final note, I will just say that beyond religious or Christian sentiments that we carry around this subject matter, logically, it does not help.
Yeah.
Psychologically, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
I mean, we just read out some statistics, and this was from research, and it shows that cohabiting does more harm than good. The truth of the matter, it's simple. I don't even need to overflog the matter. Once you reason yourself, you see that it's not just, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's no point going ahead to get married to a person when you have already cohabited with the person. Most people it ends badly. It ends badly. You cannot really know a person's behavior because of cohabiting. Anything that you can know by courtship in the process of courtship, talking. And by talking, we mean correct conversation,
getting to
in depth. That's the issue. I think we have not been taught how to have real conversations. You can know a lot about the person by the way they speak.
Yeah.
Of course, in marriage, that's why it's marriage. When you get in, there are things that, that's even the fun. That's the excitement in it. There are things that you would see that will be, okay, you will now adjust. You will now know how to cope with the things that, okay, you know that this is this person. The ones that you can adjust, that the person can adjust, the person will adjust, right? You how do you call it? Adaptation. You adapt to certain things. You learn, you unlearn, you evolve together. That's how it ought to be. But if you decide that you want to be smarter and taste the honey before it's time, I'm telling you, there will be no honey left in that moon when you get there.
There will be no honey left in that moon. Thank you so much, Nakali. On that note, we can say wrap. Thank you for joining us today on Trend. If you're watching on YouTube, do well to subscribe. If you have not hit that subscribe button, it does not hurt to subscribe. Okay, and if you're watching on free to air, please keep watching, keep enjoying Ambience TV. Till we will come your way again. All right, bye.
Bye.